A very good morning to all. So, in the last lab sessions, we have completed practical number three, almost 80 percentage. We have seen what are the functions that are used in Oracle or SQL. We have also seen how to add a primary key, how to provide the check constraint, how to provide not null as well as the foreign key. I asked you to create all the four tables again with a postfix of underscore new in each table. That is account underscore new, loan underscore new, installment underscore new, and transaction underscore new. And also I asked you to enter all the data in these tables as per your practical number one. So how many of you created all the tables with the constraints, all the four tables with the constraint? How many of you have already completed the tables with constraints, adding a primary key, not null, check or foreign key? How many of you have completed that part? How many of you are left to complete that thing? How many of you have completed? I got the response from about 7 students. So how many of you are done with all the table creation part, including the data insertion part? Anyone who is left to complete it? Anyone who is left to complete it? Because I'm going to generate the Google Classroom for this particular practical 2 and 3 most probably today, and you will get a link for the same. So is there anyone who is left? I'm not going to give you any short of time to upload the practicals. You will get only one single day. The deadline will be tomorrow. So is there anyone who is still left to complete practical number 3, the first phase, creating of all the new tables with constraints and inserting the data? Fine. So if no one is responding, I'm assuming that everyone has done it. Okay. So now what is our next task? Let me present my screen first of all. Right. So we are left with this part now. We have covered this, the tables, the 10 queries, and we are left with this function based queries and the two tables, the student and register table. Now what are these two tables? These two tables specify that if you create the table and after creating the table, if you want to add some type of constraints to your table, like you want to add a primary key, you want to add a not null constraint, you want to add some check constraint, then after creating the table, how we can actually add these constraints. See, so this is what the next part of our practical is. So what I'm going to do is this function based queries you have to perform yourself. We will discuss each of the query. So nothing to worry about that part. But first of all, what I'm doing is I'm taking this part. I'm completing this two tables and how to add the constraints after creating the table. And later on, then we will go for this function based queries. So your practical number 3 will be done by today. Is that okay and clear, everyone? We are first going for these two tables, the new learning part, and then we will go for this function based queries. We'll discuss each of the queries and you can perform it directly then. So shall we start? Okay, so let me just open my notepad. Right, and let me also open my Apex. So no need of Apex right now. I will just execute it here and you will be able to execute on your own. Right, so first table that we want to create is student. So these are few of the columns that a student table has: address, branch, name and roll number. So Divyansh, just tell me the syntax, unmute yourself and tell me how I can create this particular table. Divyansh, how to create this student table? You can unmute and tell me. No need of writing it in the chats. Just tell me the syntax of creating this table. Can you unmute yourself? Can you speak? Do you have the okay, then let's go to Milan. Can you unmute and tell me? No, Divyas, you don't want to waste the time in writing the answers. That is why I'm saying. You can still write down, but Milan Solanki, all right. Nilesh, can you unmute and speak up? Yeah, so deal with it. Okay, create table. Yeah, okay. Oh, round brackets and a semicolon. Yeah, okay. Roll number varchar 2. Okay, 6. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Varchar 2 20. Hmm. Okay, branch varchar 2 6. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you. Right, so this query is right. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Right. So we have created the table, right? So now, is the syntax of table creation correct, first of all? Or is there any mistake? Anyone? Is this syntax correct or wrong? Is it right or wrong? Just check it out very clearly. Is the syntax of creating the student table is right or wrong? Yes? Hmm. Yeah. सही है ना? Okay, fine. So now let's move on to work on this table. So this table does not contain any type of constraints. See, only it is having column name and the data type and its size. So now what we want to do is I want to add some of the constraints. So for that, let's see what are the questions. Right. So the first question is add primary key roll number and provide constraint name prim underscore roll no. That means now whenever you are trying to add the constraints after the table has been created, then you need to name that constraint. You need to give some identity to that particular constraint, right? So now what it is saying, you need to add a primary key on this roll number column. I need to add a primary key on this particular roll number column. So for that, what I will do, I am writing the first query here. I will write alter table student, because the table has already been created. So we are going to change the structure of the table. That is why I am using the alter command. Now I need to add a primary key. So for that I will write down add. Then I will write down one keyword called constraint, right? And then after this keyword constraint, we need to give some name, some identity of this constraint. So here it is already clearly said that you need to provide the constraint name as prim rollno. So what we will do, we'll just put the same name here. So add constraint prim underscore rollno, right? Then you need to just write down primary key. Into bracket, you just need to provide the column name on which you want to put the primary key. So it is roll no. So this is what your syntax will be. Alter table student, because we are changing the structure of the table. I am using the alter command. Then we are going to write down add command, because we are going to add something new to the existing table. So we are adding one constraint. The name of that constraint is prim underscore roll no. Now the type of that constraint is primary key, and that primary key is imposed on that particular column called roll no. So this is how you write down or you add a primary key to the table after the table has been created. Clear guys the syntax, or shall I repeat? Shall I repeat or is it clear? Just yes. Okay, again I'm repeating. See, because we are adding a primary key after the table has been created, what we will do, we will use the alter command to change the structure of the table. Right? So alter table student. Now it is clearly saying that you need to add a primary key on a roll number column. Right? So we are adding some primary key, and primary key is a constraint. Right? So now we need to add this primary key on this roll number, and it is clearly saying that you need to provide a constraint name as prim underscore rollno. That means whenever you are trying to add any type of constraints after the table has been created, right, you need to give some name, some identity to that constraint. So here our constraint is primary key, right? So I need to give some name to this primary key constraint. That name is prim underscore rollno. That name that we have given to this primary key is rollno, prim underscore rollno. Clear with this part? Prim underscore rollno is a name given to the primary key constraint. Is that clear? First of all, Divyansh, till here it is clear, everyone? Right. So now, how to add it? We have used the alter command, alter table student. Then we will write down add constraint, right? We are writing add, then the constraint keyword, because we are adding some type of constraint. So add constraint. Then the name of that constraint is prim underscore rollno, and then the type of the constraint is primary key, and then on which column we want to put a primary key, we want to put a primary key on a roll number column. So this is how you add a primary key. Now is that clear, everyone? Any doubts? Shall I repeat again? Anyone who wants me to repeat? You can still go through the syntax once, and still if you have any doubts, just tell me. Yes. Anyone? Any doubts? Or shall I move ahead? Shall I move on? Right. Then let's go for the next one. Now, next one it is saying add not null constraint to name and branch column of the student table. So now in this particular table, we want to add a not null constraint to this name and branch column. So can anyone tell me how to add it? Can anyone just try to give me this answer? Can anyone try to add a not null constraint on this name and branch column one by one? First try to give me the answer of this. Add a not null constraint on name column. Is there anyone who is trying to give me the answer? Or shall I give the answer? Yeah, anyone? Okay, very good, Rahul. Alter table student. Add constraint not null into bracket branch. You have not defined the name of the constraint. You need to define the name of the constraint. You need to give some identity to the constraint. Alter table student. Add constraint name not null name. Okay. Yes, you can take any name that you like. Okay, so almost everyone has to, many of you have tried, right? But see, what everyone has written is alter table student, right? Alter table student. Then you have written add constraint, then some name, and then not null. And into bracket you have given the column name, right? But actually we are not adding any constraint to this particular name column. We are trying to change the existing constraint of the column. We are trying to change the existing constraint of the column. How we can say we are changing the existing constraint? How we can say we are changing the existing constraint of the table? See, in the table, whenever you are giving this type of syntax, name varchar 2 60 or 20 whatever is the size, but whenever you are giving the any type of this type of statements and you are not providing any type of constraint here, right, by default this particular column will be having a null constraint. What it will have? It will have by default null constraint. That means if you enter the data for this particular column and if you do not provide any values, if you do not provide any values, you keep it blank, then also the data will be inserted in the database. The data will be inserted in your table. So by default it is null constraint. That means you are allowing this particular column to have empty values or blank values. You are allowing by default this column to have empty or blank values, right? So actually we are not adding any constraint, but we are trying to modify this null constraint to not null constraint. We are trying to modify this null constraint to not null constraint. Clear guys what I'm saying? Whenever you do not provide any type of constraint here, it means it is by default null, allowing null values or blank values. So now you already have by default hidden null constraint in this column. So you need to modify this particular constraint. You need to modify this particular constraint. Clear with this first of all? Anyone any doubt in this first of all? Yes? Hmm. Yes, roll number by default will be null. All the columns right now is having null. Because you have not given any type of constraints to any of the columns, they are by default null. They are by default null. So now we have added the primary key constraint to this roll number. So now this roll number will not be null because primary key do not allow null values. Clear everyone now? Clear everyone? So now we need to change this null constraint to not null. So for that, what we will do, we will write down like this: alter table student, and now instead of add, we are going to write down modify. That means we are now changing the constraint. So modify, and what you want to modify? You want to modify this name columns constraint, right? So I will write down modify name, right? Then constraint, provide any name like n1, and then write down your constraint name. That's it. Alter table student, modify the name column constraint n1 not null. Either it has a constraint n1 in that particular table by default or not, it is not going to see it. It will directly modify the constraint, existing constraint null to not null, and give it a name as n1. Give it a name as n1. So this is how it will work. And this is how it will add the not null constraint. Right? So alter table student, modify name, the column name, constraint, constraint name n1, and the constraint type is not null. Clear with the syntax? Clear everyone? Or shall I repeat? Sorry. Any doubts, anyone? No, Rahul, because we cannot use the same syntax in the roll number. Yeah, if you want to use or if you want to add a not null constraint, then and then you can use this type of syntax. But in roll number, we wanted to add a primary key, right? So for that, we cannot use modify. We are adding a primary key, we are not modifying the primary key because we do not have primary key earlier, right? So we cannot use it the same syntax. Any more doubts? Anyone in this? Yes? No need because you already defined the column name here. See, after modify, we have defined the column name. Okay, now try to add the not null constraint to branch. Give me the answer. Add a not null constraint to branch. Yes, alter table student, modify, and the column name is branch now. Constraint, let us say constraint n2 or whatever name you like, and then the not null. So this is what be your answer will be. So now is it clear guys, everyone? Any doubts? Anyone in this? Anyone any doubts in this? Then let's move on to the third query. So what is the third query? Let's see. Add check constraint and check name is in the capital letter. So can you try this query? Anyone? Add a check constraint and check the name is in capital letter. Just try it out. Else I'll give the answer. Don't worry. Just try it out on your own first. Add a check constraint to check whatever the value of name I'm trying to give should be in the capital letters. So anyone who is trying to give the answer of this? Okay, so let me give the answer of this then. So I want to add a check constraint. I need to check the name should be in the capital letters. So what I will do, alter table student, right? And then because I am again adding a check constraint, right? So I will use add, then constraint, the keyword, and let us say the name of that constraint is ck. And then what I will do, I will write down check into bracket, I will write name equals to upper of name. So this will be your answer. Can anyone try to explain me this by unmuting them yourself? Can anyone try to explain this? Can anyone try to explain this? What is the use of upper function? What is the use of upper function that we have studied in the last lab? What is the use of upper function? Yes, students, all letters in capital. So what I have done, I have used alter table student, and now we are going to add one constraint called ck, and that ck will be check constraint, and that check constraint is going to check whether the name is equals to the uppercase of that name. That means whatever value for that name I have already given, it will check all the value, all the characters are in uppercase. All the characters are in uppercase. So this is how you add the check constraint. We are using add keyword. Remember, whenever you are adding the not null constraint, at that time only you will use the modify keyword. Otherwise, you are going to use add only. Right? So alter table student, add constraint. The constraint name is CK. Check the constraint type, and we are checking that name is in the upper case. Name is in the upper case. Right? Clear, guys? Everyone? Clear, guys? Everyone till here? Or any doubts? Anyone? Okay, then let's move on to the next one, the fourth query. The fourth query is you need to drop the primary key. So we have added a primary key in the first query. Now it is saying that you remove the primary key. We do not want primary key now. So now how to write down that part? We will write down like this. Alter table student. I will use drop, and then I will just write down primary key. That's it. This is the syntax. Alter table student, drop primary key. We are not giving any constraint name here. We are just saying that you need to drop the primary key. That means wherever the table has a primary key, all the primary keys will be removed. All the primary keys will be removed. Now let us assume that in this particular table, roll number is a primary key as well as name is a primary key. Just assume it. So here in this table, we are having two primary keys, roll number and name. At that particular time, whenever we write down this particular syntax, alter table student drop primary key, it means that it will remove the primary key from roll number as well as from name. So all the columns that has the primary key, all those columns will be removed, or the primary keys from all those columns will be removed. And if you want to remove a specific primary key, then what you will do, you will just write down drop. I'll just put a hyphen, sorry, slash, and give the second syntax, drop constraint prim underscore roll no. Either you use drop primary key, then whatever number of primary keys the table has, all the primary keys will be removed. And if you want to remove a specific primary key from the table, then you need to write down drop constraint and the constraint name. Drop constraint and the constraint name. So any of the syntax you can use to drop or delete any type of constraints. Right? Clear with this, guys? Alter table student, drop primary key. So it will remove all the primary keys. Or you can write down alter table student, drop constraint name. Clear with this, guys? Anyone? Any doubts in any of the syntax? Any doubts? Anyone? Okay, then let's move on to the fifth query. My fifth query is Drop all the remaining constraints from the table. So we have removed the primary key constraint, right? Now I have N1, N2 and C key constraint in my table. I want to delete all these constraints. So can anyone give me how to write down the answer of this? Drop not null constraint of name column, drop not null constraint of branch column, and drop check constraint of name column. So just write down the answer how we can drop all these constraints. Just write down the answer how we can drop all these constraints. Let's say Tarun, you can write down the answer of the first one. Drop not null constraint of name column. Anjali, you can write down the answer of second one. Drop not null constraint on branch column. And Nilesh, you can write down the answer of drop check constraint on name column. Give me the answer one by one. Tarun, Anjali, and Nilesh. Yes, yes. Okay. See, Nilesh, you need to give me the answer that how to drop a check constraint on name column. You can use the syntax given here in the fourth one. Anjali will give the answer of how to drop N2 not null constraint on branch column, and Tarun Kumar will give the answer of how to drop not null constraint on this name column. I am waiting for the answer. Okay, so Anjali has already given the answer of the second one. Alter table student, drop constraint and 2. Very good, Anjali. Right answer. Tarun and Nilesh awaiting your answer. Tarun Kumar and Nilesh awaiting your answer. Okay, Nilesh has given the answer. Alter table student, drop constraint CK. So now the same thing will be applied to your name column also. Alter table student, drop constraint and 1. Right? So what will be the answer of each of them? Let us see. So here, if I want to remove the not null constraint on name column, the constraint name is N1. So I'll write down alter table student, drop constraint N1. Similarly, for not null constraint of branch, the name is N2. So I will write down alter table student, drop constraint N2. And for the last one, the constraint name is CK. So I will write down alter table student, drop constraint CK. Right? Tarun, we cannot write down like this. Drop constraint not null. You need to specifically give constraint name. Constraint name, not constraint type. You need to give the constraint name. The name of the constraint here is N1, N2 and CK. Clear, Tarun? Right, so is this clear, guys? So we have completed the first table, student table, and we have seen how to add, modify and delete the constraints. Clear, everyone? Any doubts? Anyone in this? Anyone, any doubts in this? Right, so what I'm going to do is I am just pasting the table as well as all the queries just for your reference in your chats. So you can use this syntax to perform in your Apex and check whether all the syntaxes are working properly or not. Right? Clear everyone? Till here? Then we can move on to the second table. Okay, so next let us go to second table. The second table is register and it is having only two columns. So I will just create the table very quickly. Create table register round brackets and a semicolon. The first is roll no varchar 2 into bracket 6 comma name again a varchar 2, let's say 20, right? So I've created the table called register. Is there any mistake in the table? Anyone? Just go to the syntax. Tell me whether there is any mistake in the table or not. Is there any mistake in my table? Okay, so let's go to the queries then. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 queries again here. Right, so let's see each of them. So what is the first query? Provide foreign key reference roll number of student table. So now I want to refer, this roll number is referring to this roll number of student table. Then what do we require? What is the rule to apply foreign key? This you discussed in the last lab. What is the rule to define a foreign key? What do we require? What do we require to provide a foreign key reference? Expecting the answer, be quick. Yes, so the table which a foreign key which is referring the table, that table should have a primary key column, right? Very good. So do we have a primary key column in the student table? Yes or no? Do we have a primary key column in the student table? Yes or no? How many says yes? Okay, Nilesh is saying yes. Rahul is also saying yes. Okay, Anjali, Aziz. So almost are saying yes. But I think yes, exactly Nilesh. We already dropped that primary key in the fourth query. See here. We already dropped the primary key in the fourth query. So actually that table does not contain a primary key right now. But let us do not consider that part. We are assuming that the student table contains a primary key and that is on roll number. We are assuming that thing. We are assuming that thing, right? So we are assuming that we have not dropped this primary key and we still have that primary key on this particular column of student tables, that is roll number column, right? So now let us try to add a foreign key reference. So now I will write down like this: alter table register, sorry, alter table register, add foreign key into bracket the column name of the register table, that is roll NO. Then I will write down references, which table it is referring, student table, into bracket the column name of student table. So this is how you will write down the answer. Alter table register, the table that you want to change. We are adding a foreign key, so we don't want to give any name to foreign key. We will not provide any name to foreign key. Add foreign space key, right? Into bracket, you need to define the column of that table that is willing to refer to some other table. The column name of that second table which is willing to refer to some other table's data. So I am writing foreign key and of register table, I am saying that roll number column of this register table is going to refer someone. So I have written here roll number column. So foreign key roll number, and this roll number column of this register table is referring to the roll number column of student table. So I am writing here roll number, references student table, and specifically the roll number column. Right? So what does this statement means actually? The statement means that this roll number column is a foreign key of this register table, and it is going to refer the roll number column of this student table. Clear everyone, or shall I repeat? I have written add foreign key because we want to add a foreign key, so foreign key. And we need to say that on which column you want to put a foreign key, right? So I'm saying that I want to put a foreign key on roll number column of register table. Roll number column of register table, right? So I'm saying that I'm adding a foreign key on roll number column of register table. Well, let me do one thing here. I have created a table here, create table register. Instead of roll number, I am writing roll underscore NO, right? So that's for your reference. So now what I will do, alter table register, add foreign key, and here I will write down the register tables roll number column. So roll underscore NO. So this is the column name of this register table, and this column is referring, so reference is the student table, and that to the roll number column of student table. You can see here this roll number column, this one of student table. Now is it clear? Clear, or repeat again? Anyone requires repetition? Okay, first query repeat. So again I'm saying I want to add a foreign key. A foreign key on a roll number column of register table, and it is going to refer the roll number column of student table. So now how to write down it? So alter table register, then we are using add command or add keyword, then a foreign key keyword. Into bracket of that foreign key, we need to say that which column is a foreign key of register table. So we know that roll number column of register table is a foreign key. So I'm writing here roll number column of register table. right? And now this foreign key, this roll number column of register table is going to refer roll number column of student table. So I'm writing here references student, the table name into bracket, the column name of that particular student table. That is roll number. Now clear? This is the table that will be used to be referred, and this is the column name and the table which is going to refer this particular table. Now clear? Yeah, Nilesh, we already dropped the primary key, but we are assuming that we have not dropped the primary key, and we are working on that. We are assuming only. Now is it clear, everyone? Any doubts? Okay, then moving on to the next query, second query. Let's see what is the second query. Add check constraint to check name's first letter is always capital. You need to check not the complete name. You only need to check that the first character of the name, the value of the name is capital. Give me the answer of this. Give me the answer of this. I am waiting for the answers. I want to check only the first letter of the name is capital, not the complete name. Give me the answer of this. Awaiting your answers. You need to only check the first character. Alter table register, add constraint, check name equals to init cap name. Nilesh, very good try. But let us assume that my name is having like Nilesh Ajani. Then in that Nilesh space Ajani, only N should be capital. If the A of that your surname should not be capital. And init cap will capitalize the each first character of each word. So this won't work actually. A very good try, but actually the thing is, if your word table name contains the two words, then init cap will capitalize the first letter of both the words. But we want only the first character of the name. Right, so let's see how to write down the answer of this. So alter table register add constraint ck and then I will write down check and into bracket I am going to check substr into bracket name comma 1 comma 1 is equals to upper of substr of name comma 1 comma 1. So this is what your answer will be. Now someone can try to explain me this one. I have given you the right answer. Now you need to try to give me the explanation of this. Just read the query one by one, all these things, and just try to explain me the query. The first part of the query is okay, that you know how to add a constraint and provide the name. Only give me the answer of this. Try to explain me this part, the highlighted one. What is the use of substring? Yes. Okay. 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 Okay, very good try. So now Rahul, let me just try to explain it in a very clear manner. So alter table register add constraint ck, that you know. Now I'm adding one check constraint, and in that I have passed one function substring name 1 comma 1. So what does this will do? Let us say the name that I have passed is Amir or Amit, let us say AMIT, Amit. So name is Amit, right? And I have said that I want the substring of 1 comma 1. So it means that you need to start from the first position of the name and get me only the one character. Get me only one character. So let us assume here that the name here is Amit. So I want only the one character starting from the first position. So if I start from the first position, what is the first character? Only one character, that is A. So I am just extracting the first character of the complete name, and I am checking that whether that name or whether that character is in the uppercase or not. So I have passed substring name 1 comma 1 here also, and I am checking that that substring of that name 1 comma 1 is in uppercase. Is in uppercase. So this is how your query will work. It will extract only one character starting from the first position, and it will check whether that first character is capitalized or not, or is capital or not. Clear now? Or shall I repeat? Substring name 1 comma 1 means extract one character from the first position. So we have extracted the first character of the name, and I am checking that whether that character is in capital case or not. Clear, guys? Any doubts? Clear, guys, or any doubts? Clear or any doubts? Anyone? No response. So I think they are confused or they are not able to understand. Shall I repeat again? Anyone? Does anyone requires repetition? Tell me whatever you want, repetition or clear or anything else. Okay, then moving on next. Next query is add not null constraint to the name of the register table. So I want to add a not null constraint on this name column. Give me the answer. It is easy. It is very easy. Add a not null constraint to the name column of this register table. Give me the answer. Be quick. So the answer will be like alter table register, modify name constraint n1 not null, right? So alter table register, modify name constraint n1 not null, right? So almost everyone answers are correct, right? Let's move on to the next one. The fourth query, drop foreign key constraint from the table. Drop foreign key constraint of register table. Give me the answer. You know how to drop it. Drop foreign key constraint from this table. Drop foreign key constraint from the given table, from the register table. How to write down the answer? Answer will be alter table register, drop foreign key. That's it. Drop foreign key. Because we have not given any name to foreign key, we will just write down drop foreign key. Right? Okay. And last one, drop the not null constraint from the name column. Drop not null constraint from the name column. Write down the answer of this. Drop not null constraint from the name column. Alter tables to register. Drop constraint n1. Right. So clear, guys, everyone? So I'm just pasting all of these answers in your chats just for your reference. So I pasted both the table and all the answers of each of them, right? So now you can refer it, you can use it, you can check it out in your Apex whether they are working or not, right? So now the next step is we are moving on to the queries. I will ask randomly to give the answer using the functions that we have learned in the previous lab. So moving on to the function based queries. Right. So Tarun, give me the answer of the first one. Find the total transaction amount of all the account holders from transaction table. This is the transaction table. Find the total transaction amount of all the accounts from transaction table. So give me the answer. Find the total amount of transaction from transaction table. Tarun, just open the practical list with you. Open the practical list with you, everyone, and give me the answer of this. Tarun, query number 1 from function based queries. Aziz, Query number 2. Find the minimum amount of transaction. Anjali, query number 3. Find the maximum amount of transaction. Rahul, query number 4. Count the total account holders. Hetansh, query number 5. Count only those records whose mode of payment is cash. Nilesh, query number 6. Count only those records whose transaction is made in the month of May. So give me the answer of first 6 queries one by one. Right? Tarun, Aziz, Anjali, Hetansh, Rahul, and Nilesh. This is the sequence of queries that you need to give me the answer. Or just do one thing. First perform all these 10 queries and then we will see what are your answers. Right? So let's do one thing. Start performing all these 10 queries. And for these queries, query number 10, you have to refer to the PPT that is uploaded to your e-content. So complete all these 10 queries first on your own. See, in the first query, you need to use the sum function, select sum. In the second, you need to use min function. Third one, you need to use max. Fourth one, you need to use count function. Fifth one, you need to use count function with a condition. Sixth one, also you need to use count function with a condition of the date. And 7, 8, 9, you need to use the dual function or dual table just to perform all these. Sorry, 8, 9, 10, you need to use dual table. And 7th query, you need to use AVG function, that is average function. And for 10th query, you need to refer to the PPT and whatever examples that I have written in the PPT, you need to just execute it and write it down in your Word file. And after that, you need to complete the student table and register table with all these queries. Clear guys, what you have to do? Perform these 10 queries one by one using the functions. After that, perform this create table student. Perform all these 5 queries. Create this register table and perform these 5 queries. And create the Word file for the same. So your practical 3 will be completed. Your practical 3 will be completed. Clear with it everyone? Complete your practical 3 today itself during your labs. That is your task. Already practical 3 last part, student table and register table, all the table creation and all the query answers are available in your chats. So you can refer to it directly. Clear guys what you have to do? Is that clear guys? Yes or no? Complete all the queries as well as the 2 tables and its 5 queries each. हाँ हाँ फंक्शन बेस खत्म करना है और उसके बाद ये टेबल ये स्टूडेंट रजिस्टर टेबल जो हमने अभी किया है वो भी खत्म करना है. Yes, you need to use count. See, for the first query, you need to use sum function, sum. Then for second, you need to use min. Third, max. Fourth, count. Fifth, count with this condition of cash. Sixth, count with the condition of this date. Seventh, you have to use AVG function, that is average. Eighth and ninth, you need to use the dual table just to perform this particular operations, that is display the result of 4:4 So you will use power function, power 4 comma 4. Ninth, you will use square root function sqrt of 25. And for 10th, you need to refer to the PPT and get all the queries executed in your Apex and then mentioned in your Word file. That's it. Now is that clear guys, everyone, what you need to do? Complete the entire practical 3. That is what you have to do. Clear everyone now? Yes or no? Then start performing it. We will discuss the answers of function based queries from 1 to 9 after 10 to 15 minutes by the time you complete all the first 9 queries first. I will discuss the answers after 10 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, if you have any queries, just tell me. Yes, 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 Rahul. Your voice is not clear here. Now you can write down your query. If there is some issue with your mic, just write down the query. And in the meantime, I am just providing you the answers of each query. You can refer to these answers. Okay, Apex is not working right now. Just let me check. Okay, fine. So you can just refer to these answers that I have presented, right? And just complete your word file using these answers. If you are not able to understand any of the answers, then just tell me. If you are not able to understand any of these answers, just tell me. You can refer to the questions from your practical list, and these are the answers of all the 10 questions of function based queries. So if anyone faces any problem in any of the questions or answer, just tell me here in the chats. Refer to these answers. You can complete your word file by the time. No need to perform it in your Apex. You can just create the word file referring to my answers. Yeah, no need to perform it in the Apex. You can just refer to these answers and complete your word file. All the things. The function based queries, you can refer to the remaining 10th questions functions from your eContent PPT and also complete the student and register table also. So complete everything, complete your practical 3. You have ample amount of time. And if you have any doubts in any of the queries, just tell me. Right? Clear everyone what you have to do? Complete your word file, refer to my answers already available in your chats as well as this word notepad file. And if you want, I can just provide all these answers in your chats also. So start performing it. Start completing your word file. And how many assignments we have written so far? How many assignments we have written so far? I think one, right? Okay, thank you, Anjali. So yeah, complete this part. Complete this function based queries. Complete the student and register table and all its five queries. And tell me yes, done when you are done with everything.
નમસ્કાર કોવિડ-19 અંગેની પ્રક્રિયા હવે આખા દેશમાં શરૂ થઈ ગઈ છે આ સ્થિતિમાં જો બહુ જરૂરી હોય તો જ પોતાના ઘરેથી બહાર નીકળો 30 કલાક કે માસ્ક પહેરતા સમય ધ્યાન રાખો કે મોઢું નિરંતર બરાબર ઢંકાયેલું રહે સાર્વજનિક સ્થાનોમાં ઓછામાં ઓછું 2 ગજનું અંતર રાખો હાથ અને શ્વાસની બાબતમાં સ્વચ્છતાનું પાલન કરો યાદ રાખો તાવથી બીજસારી પણ ભારે પડી શકે છે ઉધરસ તાવ કે શ્વાસ લેવામાં તકલીફ પડે તો તરત જ રાષ્ટ્રીય હેલ્પલાઇન નંબર 104 રાષ્ટ્રીય હેલ્પલાઇન નંબર 1075 નો સંપર્ક કરો ભારત સરકાર દ્વારા જનહિતમાં જારી મને તમે જે વ્યક્તિને કોલ કરી રહ્યા છો તે જવાબ આપી રહ્યા નથી કૃપા કરી પછીથી
So can anyone just explain me the query number 6? What this is, what this I have written? Query number 6. Can anyone try to explain this query? The question of that query is count only those records. Here it will be a transaction. Yeah, can you try to explain me the sixth query? The question is, you need to display or count only those records from transaction whose transaction date is in the month of May. Yes, Nilesh, you can try at least. So this means that you selected to count only those account number from transaction table where the transaction date, and in that transaction date the month is May. So to find out the month from a given date, we are using to underscore char function to get the date attribute. You can get month, you can get date, you can get day, you can get the year. So you can fetch or extract any component of date using this to underscore char function, right? So to underscore char, tr underscore date is the column name. So this is the date that I have given, and I am saying that I want to extract the month. So whatever month I am extracting from this particular date, I am comparing it with the May. I am comparing it with the May, and it will count only those records where this condition is getting true. So this is the meaning of sixth query. So has everyone gone through the answers of each of the queries? First 9 answers that I have mentioned in my notepad file. Oh yeah. The sixth query says that you need to count only those records whose date of transaction is in the month of May, right? So for that, I have written like this: select count ACC underscore NO from transaction where. Now I want to know, I want to extract the month from the particular date. I don't want to compare all the dates. I don't want to get the complete date, but I only want to see that all the transactions that are made in the month of May I should get the data. Let us say it has one transaction has been made in 1st May 2014. Second transaction made in 2nd May 2015. So likewise, whatever number of records it has, I only want to check and count only those records whose transaction is made in the month of May, right? So for that, if I want to check or if I want to compare only month from a given date, right? Then I have to use to underscore char function. So I have used here where to underscore char. And into that, I have given my query, my date. So the column of that date is tr underscore date. See, in this transaction table, tr trans underscore date or tr underscore date. You assume any of the column name right now. So where to underscore char tr underscore date, right? This is my date, and what component of the date I want to know? I want the month of that particular date. So for month, I have written here MON. If you want to get the day of that particular date, then you will write down DAY. If you want to know the date of that particular date, if you want to extract only date, you will write down here DD. If you want year, you can write down here YYYY or year, whatever you want. So I want only the month of that date. I have used here MON keyword. So what I'm doing, to underscore char tr underscore date mon. So whatever month the date has, this date has extracted, I'm comparing that month with this May. I'm comparing that month with this May. So this is how your particular query goes. So this particular function extracts a given or required date attribute, date component. Here I wanted only month, so I have written MON. For date, DD I will write. For day, I will write DAY. For year, I will write YYYY or year, anything. And this is how you will compare it with May. Clear now, Nilesh? So your task is to complete the practical 3 now. Everything is provided to you. The 10 queries you can see on your screen. Only the 10th query. For the 10th query, you need to refer to the PPT for the functions that are defined in the 10th query like trim, ltrim, rtrim, lpad, rpad, and many other functions or few more functions. So refer to it. Whatever query the I have mentioned in that particular PPT, you just copy paste in your Word file for each of the function. Clear everyone what you have to do? Anyone? Any more doubts? Anyone? Any doubts in any of the queries? Just go through each of the queries and tell me if you have any doubts. I am creating a Google Classroom for practical 2 and practical 3.
અનલોકની પ્રક્રિયા હવે આખા દેશમાં શરૂ થઈ ગઈ છે. આ સ્થિતિમાં જો બહુ જરૂરી હોય તો જ પોતાના ઘરેથી બહાર નીકળો. ફેસ કવર કે માસ્ક પહેરતા સમયે ધ્યાન રાખો.
બસ ગુડ મોર્નિંગ સાહેબ, કેમ છો? બસ એકદમ મજા. તમે કયો કયો સાહેબ, બોલો બોલો. હા બસ હવે ફ્રી થઈ ગયો, બોલો. ઓકે. હા હા સર. હા હા સર. હમ. સર એકચ્યુઅલી સાચું કહું ને તો આપણે તો રાઈટ ડિરેક્શન જતા જ નથી અત્યારે એકે રીતે. કારણ કે મારે કોમિલ જોડે વાત થઈ હતી આની પહેલા. કોમિલ વાત કરતા હોય એના બાબતે મને ખબર છે કે વીપી અત્યારે શું ચાલે છે એક્રેડિટેશન બાબતે. મેં કોમિલને કીધું હતું કે આપણે રાઈટ ડિરેક્શનમાં જરાય નથી. આપણે જેમ એવું છે કે કોઈને ખબર નથી શું કરવાનું છે એક્ઝેક્ટલી પહેલા તો. યસ સર એકચ્યુઅલી કારણ કે મેં અહીંયા જેટલું વર્ક કર્યું ને આમાં જે છેલ્લા 1 વર્ષમાં આ લોકો મારી પાસે જેટલું કામ કરાવડે એવું સીઓપીઓ મેપિંગ ને એ બધી વસ્તુ એ જો તો મને એવું લાગ્યું કે આપણે જરા એકી રીતે રાઈટ ડિરેક્શનમાં નહોતા એકી રીતે. કારણ કે સર એકચ્યુઅલી પ્રિન્સિપલ સર ડિસ્કસ સર ત્યારે એવું કીધું હતું આપણને કે તમારે તમારા દરેક સબ્જેક્ટના સીઓસ ડિફાઇન કરવાના છે. એટલે પણ એ આપણે ખોટું કર્યું છે કારણ કે આપણે યુનિવર્સિટી સાથે ઓલરેડી એફિલિએટેડ છે. તો આપણે યુનિવર્સિટીના સીઓસ આપણે ફોલો કરવાના હોય. જો આપણે પોતે એક ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ યુનિવર્સિટી હોત ને તો આપણે આપણા સબ્જેક્ટના સીઓસ ડિફાઇન કરી શકીએ. વી આર નોટ અલાઉડ ટુ ચેન્જ એની સીઓસ ઓફ ધી ડિફાઇન્ડ યોર સીઓસ બાય ધી યુનિવર્સિટી. આ પહેલો રૂલ એવું કહે છે. એટલે આપણે ત્યાં જ ખોટા પડી બધી રીતે. એટલે આપણે એકી સીઓ મેપ ન થાય. કારણ કે યુનિવર્સિટી જો આજે કોઈ સીઓ ડિફાઇન કરતી હોય તો એ પોતે વિચારીને જ કરતી હોય. તો પછી આપણને રાઇટ્સ નથી કે આપણે કોઈ સીઓ એના ચેન્જ કરીએ. તમે મેપિંગમાં કરી શકો. તમે જે પીએસએસ ડિફાઇન કરીએ, પ્રોગ્રામ સ્પેસિફિક આઉટકમ ડિફાઇન કરીએ, ત્યાં તમે એમ કહી શકો કે અમે આવું નવું કર્યું એટલે અમે એક નવો સીઓ એડ કર્યો. અમે મેપિંગ કરવા માટે સીઓ એડ કરીએ છીએ. પણ તમે બધા સીઓ ચેન્જ કરવાનું કહો તો એ ન ચાલે કે રીતે એમ ટૂંકમાં. ના સર, અમારે એવું છે ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ વાઇઝ જે એક અમારા હેડ છે પ્રોફેસર નિતુલ દત્તા, એમને જ બધું આપી દીધું છે. ને એ જ જે કેમ એની ડિરેક્શન બધા ફોલો કરવાની, પોતાનું મગજ નથી વાપરવાનું. કારણ એ માણસે બધું સમજી લીધું છે જે કમિટી આવી ત્યારે. એટલે એ જ જે કે એ સાથે અમે બધું ફોલો કરીએ છીએ. એની જે ફોર્મ્યુલા અમે યુઝ કરીએ છીએ બધું જ. એટલે એવું નથી કે બધું મિક્સઅપ થાય છે. આપણે કેવું છે સર અત્યારે કે માની લો જે 4 જણા કે 5 જણાની ટીમ બનાવી છે ને એ ઇન્ટરનલી એટલા મિક્સઅપ થઈ ગયા છે ને કે એ લોકો પોતાને જ ખબર છે આપણે શું કરવું એક્ઝેક્ટલી. અને સર ઇવન કંઈક મને એક્ઝેક્ટ ખબર નથી બટ એવો કંઈક રૂલ એવો છે કે તમારા વિઝન અને તમારા મિશન કોલેજના કંઈક સ્પેસિફિક નંબર ઓફ કેરેક્ટર્સ સ્પેસિફિક નંબર ઓફ વર્ડ્સના હોવા જોઈએ. હવે એ મને એક્ઝેક્ટ ખબર છે શું એક્ઝેક્ટ રૂલ છે એનો, બટ એ વસ્તુ મને એટલી જાણવા મળી છે અહીંયા. ઓકે.
મીટિંગમાં છેલ્લી 3-4 HOD મીટિંગમાં એવું બોલ્યા રાખે છે
હમ.
કે આપણે નવેમ્બરમાં એપ્લાય ફાઇનલ કરી નાખવાનું છે
સર નો થાય, પોસિબલ જ નથી.
એટલે મને ટેન્શન થોડું ગયું કે યાર આમાં યાર એકચ્યુઅલી હું પોતે એઝ હેડ તરીકે તને કહું છું હું પોતે ક્લિયર નથી યાર. હવે તો મારી નીચેના સ્ટાફની શું અપેક્ષા રાખવી?
સર આમાં ઘણું બધું ક્લિયર છે. તમે જે સીઓપીઓ મેપ નહીં કરો ને ત્યાં સુધી તમારું પેલા કેટેગરી નંબર 2 અને 3 ક્લિયર નહીં થાય, અને જ્યાં સુધી એ તમારું ક્લિયર નહીં થાય તમારું કેટેગરી નંબર 7 ક્લિયર નહીં થાય. 7 ઇઝ ટોટલ ડિપેન્ડન્ટ ઓન સીઓ એન્ડ પીઓ. અને એમાં તમારે ત્યાં 3 વર્ષની દરેક સબ્જેક્ટની મિનિટ્સ ઓફ મિટિંગ દેખાડવી પડશે. એમાં તમે શું સુધારા આપ્યા, શું ચેન્જીસ આપ્યા, પ્રેક્ટિકલ્સમાં શું નવું કરવાનું કીધું, એ બધું તમારે મિનિટ્સ ઓફ મિટિંગ ઊભી કરવી પડશે 3 વર્ષની પહેલા તમારે એના માટે. એટલે ટોટલી સર ઇટ્સ નોટ પોસિબલ રાઈટ નાઉ.
અમારે ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટની મિનિટ્સ ઓફ મીટિંગ તો બનાવવાની ના હોય.
સો એ બનાવી જ પડે, એના વગર ન ચાલે. આ વસ્તુ તો મેં દર્શના મેડમ દર્શનામાં અત્યારે હું હતો ત્યાં સુધી હું 7th પોઈન્ટનો ઇન્ચાર્જ હતો, હું ને કોમિલ સર ઇન્ચાર્જ હતા અમારો ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ ટોટલી. એટલે પછી દર્શના મેડમને મેં કીધું હતું મેડમ તમારે આપણે ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ આવી રીતે મિનિટ્સ ઓફ મિટિંગ્સ ઊભી કરવી જ પડશે, જેથી દેખાડવું પડશે કે દરેક સબ્જેક્ટની મિટિંગ અમે કરીએ છીએ અને આવા ચેન્જીસ કમિટી આપે છે દર વર્ષે. કે માની લો કે આજે તો સી લેંગ્વેજ હોય તો સી લેંગ્વેજ આ પ્રોગ્રામ આપણે આપ્યો, આવતા વર્ષે એક નવો પ્રોગ્રામ છોકરાઓને ટેસ્ટ ચેલેન્જ આપવા માટે એક નવો પ્રોગ્રામ એડ કર્યો, એના પછી આવતા વર્ષે એક નવો ટોપિક અમે એક્સ્ટ્રા કરાવડાવ્યો. તો એ એક મિનિટ્સ ઓફ મિટિંગમાં દેખાડવું પડે કે તમે શું કન્ટિન્યુઅસ ઇવેલ્યુએશન કરો છો તમારા સબ્જેક્ટનું, તમારા કોલેજ માટે, તમારા ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ માટે. એટલે આ વસ્તુ કોઈને ક્લિયર જ નથી સર. પહેલી વાત તો સીઓપીઓ નહીં થાય ને મેપિંગ ત્યાં હોય તમારે કાંઈ નથી થવાનું. બહુ સાચું કહું તો આ વસ્તુ હું તમને સર એવું હશે ને તો મારે ખાલી મારો જે સબ્જેક્ટ એક .NET કે DBA સબ્જેક્ટ હું લઉં છું ને એનું મેં સીઓપીઓ મેપિંગ કરેલું છે. એ તમને ખાલી એક શીટ તમને હું શેર કરીશ પર્સનલ આઈડી પર તમારે. તમે ખાલી જોજો, તમને ખ્યાલ પડશે તમે શું આપણે શું કરીએ છીએ અને શું કરાવડાવે છે એકચ્યુઅલી જસકર સાહેબ ને એની ટીમ ટૂંકમાં.
અરે બહુ છે ને ટૂંકમાં યાર બહુ મને થોડુંક રહેશે એવું હતું ને કન્ફ્યુઝન હતું કે ભાઈ નવેમ્બરમાં ક્યાંથી પોસિબલ થાય.
સર તમે 3 વર્ષનો ડેટા ક્યાંથી પ્રિપેર થઈ ગયો એટલી વાર? નવેમ્બર હોય, નવેમ્બર 2020 કયો હોય તમારી પાસે 17, 18, 19, 20 તમે તૈયાર હોવો છો એટલીસ્ટ. એ તો પોસિબલ નથી એકે રીતે. કારણ કે અને પછી પોઈન્ટ નંબર 4 અને 5, પોઈન્ટ નંબર 6 ઇઝી છે, ચલો એ તમે બધું આપી દેશો, લેબોરેટરીઝ ડિટેલ્સ છે એટલે એમાં વાંધો નહીં આવે. પોઈન્ટ 4માં એવું થશે કેલ્ક્યુલેશન્સ તમારા બધા અઘરા પડશે. દરેક પોઈન્ટ નંબર 4 અને 5 કદાચ મને લાગે ત્યાં સુધી ઇનટેક ઉપર છે અને પ્લસ કાંઈક રેશિયો ઉપર છે, એ મને ખ્યાલ છે એટલો.
વાંધો નહીં, હું થોડુંક જો કઈ હકીકત તમને ખાલી એમને પૂછીશ, બરાબર?
પાક્કું, વાંધો નહીં, નો ઇશ્યુ.
હા પાક્કું ભલે.
ઓકે સર, બાય સર. Yes, everyone gone through the queries? Yes or no? Everyone gone through the queries? Yes or no? Even I have pasted the queries in your chats. So complete your practical number 3. And you will be creating the Google Classroom for practical 2 and 3 today. And you will get a link. Upload it there. Right? So complete practical 3. That is your main task.